on the dot. What's happening, everybody? It is Big Ben, and of course.
See, Latino, Filipino.
Well, that's right.
Filipino, Latino.
It's an
Filipinos
Eno.
are Latino.
Yeah, it's an Eno, so that's kind of a cool thing.
Martin.
You
Well,
know?
I think that my guayabera would probably give you. I am rooting for. So do I need
Mayweather?
to say more?
I don't know. Well, is that I don't understand.
Going right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
There's 3
Or
cameras
Yeah.
it's a
going
form
on.
of-
Pacquiao does?
It's a form of it. It's Filipino.
there's some Spanish in there. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing my
Why are
guayabera.
you for him?
Well, I'm for him because I think that he is going to win. I think speed will beat brawn. We'll talk more about that.
You know what? I would love for Pacquiao to win, but I don't think he's going to. I'll tell you, and here's the reason why. Mayweather is a fighter. He understands how to fight. Technician. I think he's beaten guys who are faster, stronger fighters, but he's just one of those guys where I think he's our modern day generation of Muhammad Ali. Exactly. You know, where Muhammad Ali fought guys that were stronger, bigger, faster sometimes.
Is he really that good? You think he really is? Well, he's not. He hasn't lost a fight.
He has. I think he's undefeated. He's never lost.
Mayweather is undefeated. He is putting up his record of 47 wins
Is it 47?
to go undefeated. This would be a huge upset if Pacquiao wins, and a perfect 48-0 for Mayweather. if he
Really?
wins. Yes.
Holy smokes, 48-0. Now here's the part that I know. I don't even know if you. We found so there's this fight is going to bring $500 million in revenue. $500 million. And what were you saying earlier? How much does each fighter get, Martin? Do you know the numbers?
Mayweather is expected to get $180 million.
Well, is that his amount, or is that if he wins?
Mayweather wins, he'll walk away with $180 million. Pacquiao will get, no matter what, $100 million.
So if he wins, is that
Win, lose, or draw.
So loser, 100 million.
He'll
Win,
make
lose, or
100.
draw, Pacquiao gets $100 million.
right?
Because this fight is going to generate over $100 million.
Right.
And to put that in perspective, it's $15 million more than what the Super Bowl generated.
Wow.
Just a few months ago.
Are you serious? With just two guys?
Two guys.
So
That's how much bigger this fight is.
this. Okay. What if Pacquiao wins? Does he get the 180?
I don't know, but he gets
He's guaranteed 100 million.
100 million, 50 million coming from Showtime, just as promoter.
Wow.
He's got money from Showtime, so there's $100 million right there.
Now, because I'm the girl, I like boxing. I used to watch boxing with my dad. I always have. I haven't followed boxing that much, but I think it's interesting too. People will go, oh, we're not a violent. It shouldn't be a violent society.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still a lot of money a lot of revenue being
Do you know?
generated.
I'll say one thing because I grew up. I didn't grow up with in the room kind of thing. You know, what I mean, my family was one of those where we did have Latino and things like that, but we were.
Did you watch boxing or fighting?
We weren't that kind. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You know, I went to private schools. I went to my mom. I guess my mom was one of those where she's like, "Not my boy. My boy's gonna be in." So this kind of stuff. So we were more in schools. Yeah, she wasn't trying to keep us in the hood. We really didn't come to the hood until we came to Phoenix, and we moved over here when we were really young, like 13, 14 years old. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was kind of weird because we were from Texas, and you know, we stayed in the country club area. We stayed over there with all the white people, but it's because we cleaned their home, the house, you know. And then we came over, we were like, oh wow, we live in Mexican. Wow, this is crazy, you know. But even then, boxing, you know, I think it's such ingrained in the Latinos. You know what I'm saying? What I noticed, and I thought was pretty wild, it's being sponsored by Tecate. I'm like, wow, it's not Guinness, it's not, you know, Budweiser, whatever. It's Tecate. It's got like the title sponsorship, which I don't even know how many hundreds of millions of dollars that was. So, you know, it blows my mind. You know, with this especially, I think it's the Latinos. We love not only a good show, but a good.
It's a respect for boxing.
Yeah.
One of my nephews sounders for us. He did some boxing.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's very good.
Well, and I know.
If you're listening, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out,
And
Christopher,
he's
definitely.
still very strong. they've been very successful Latinos.
Right.
And that's a sport where we rebel.
You know, what I heard is that his bodyguards, he's got a lot of bodyguards, and he's hated.
Mayweather.
Who's he?
Yeah, Mayweather,
Uh-huh.
because of I guess because of his ass.
There's a domestic violence thing that nobody's talking about.
What?
He's
Really?
he has to have a lot, and he a lot of his bodyguards because or they travel in a different car. It's like his whole entourage is so big. It's like,
Wow.
I'm still cocky.
he has to have extra bodyguards.
You're still Pacquiao either way? Wow. All right, well, we ran way over our first segment. And guys, I'm so sorry. We'll be back in just a minute right here when we talk about a whole bunch more stuff right here with Chips.
I thought we were gonna.
Hey.
Okay, and Ben.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So here we are. It is May 2nd. This is a day that will live forever
Absolutely.
in history. Always remember, never forget. Why? Because today, in MGM Grand Arena at Las Vegas for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, the welterweight championship of the world. Mayweather is favored, but I predict Pacquiao will win by decision in 12 rounds of professional boxing, and thereby pulling off one of the greatest upsets in sports history, my friends.
Really? Man, that's the case. I hope so. I hope he wins, but I ain't gonna lie. Mayweather has pulled it out so many times.
I beg your pardon.
Exactly.
Here's the tale of the tape.
While I whip this out. Exactly.
Here's the tale of the tape.
Yes.
For Mayweather, total fights 47, fights 147, fights lost 0.
That's my point.
He wants to keep that 0.
He's never lost. That's what kills me. It's like, you know, he's so cocky about it. But then again, so was Ali. So was was all these others, because they were that good. You know, is he that good?
Mayweather won 25 of those 40 by knockout. His knockout percentage is KO percentage 6. Tail of the tape for Pacquiao, 57 fights won, 52 fights lost 5.
He's lost 5. Who beat him? I guess that would be my other
5
question.
fights. However, listen to this: fights won by KO, 38. His knockout percentage, 67%.
Right, and you know, I actually saw something on the news the other day where they were talking about the fact that if Pacquiao wins, it's going to be a knockout. He will win in a knockout, and
I don't know about that.
But they said also if Mayweather wins, it'll be a decision, because apparently he does a lot. Almost half of all of his wins have been decisions. So it's not going to be one of those where, you know, Mayweather who's going to knock you out. If he does knock you out, it's probably because you were that bad, you know, compared to the other ones. Like I know the last one he had, I saw the Canelo fight. And they were like, oh, Canelo's going to kill him. He's younger, he's faster, he's this. And it was just one of those where he was able to move around so much that, you know, he pow, 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 move, pow, that, yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing. I will say this. I'm watching my little phone thing go in here, and my wife is sending me text saying, I'm probably not going to be able to make. I'm like, where are you going? Come to find out, her girlfriend's going to go to a place to go watch the fight.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
good.
Wow. I don't blame her. That's okay.
You know,
miss her.
I do.
So look at your statistics there, Martin. They're basically age.
Yep, 38, and Pacquiao's 36.
A couple of pounds more, but I tell you what, I just have this feeling.
You know, I hope he wins. To be real honest with you, I do, because without sounding rude, I think Mayweather needs to be knocked down a notch. You know what I mean? I just sound rude saying that.
I want to go back to that domestic violence charge. He's been convicted, and there's.
He actually was convicted for.
I read it was convicted, but why is no one even talking about this? If it was a football player or somebody, right, Martin, they'd be talking about it.
Yeah.
And why is that not happening now?
Probably because of the fact that.
Do we care?
Do they really care? I mean, you got to understand, the guy hits people for a living, so I would assume that.
But that. She'd be all over.
Oh yeah, Carla would be ready to punch him in the New York second. I apologize to say this, but we forgot to bring up the fact, and I'm noticing right now people are hitting me up on Facebook. Where's Carla? Yes, she was having some problems today, so because of that, she hit us up and said, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I can't make it." So she had some personal things that come up. So Carla out there, we're missing you, and of course, I bet you're missing this conversation. She'd be ready to get in here with both fists, both feet,
those two. Well, that would be an interesting fight, Carla and Pacquiao.
I think she can.
Maybe Carla and Mayweather.
Well, you know, Pacquiao's a devoted Christian. Would he hit? I don't think he would.
If she had it coming, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Martin Gonzalez right there. You can send all emails to martyg@chipsandsalsashow.com.
Let's go back to the boxing of Mayweather-Pacquiao. Watching Mayweather's right to win and Pacquiao's straight to win the fight. That's their go. Yeah, those are their go-to punches. But this fight is ridiculous. It is the most hyped fight in the history of boxing. We already talked about how much money it's made, more than the Super Bowl. Ringside seats on the secondary market going for $350,000.
Whoa! Really?
Yeah, on the secondary market. Tickets were going on sale for $1,500 we're now going $10,000 within 1 hour.
Wow. Well, I that for the weigh-in, just the weigh-in was like like $1,500 just to go to the weigh-in. I was like, holy smokes!
Which is significant because that's never happened in boxing history that they sold tickets to a weigh-in of a boxing match of any boxing match ever. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the fights over the past years. Mayweather Pacquiao is bigger than Tyson Holyfield in 1997 when Tyson was disqualified for biting off Holyfield's ear.
Okay, now I will say one thing.
I remember that. Yeah.
Pacquiao and Mayweather now, is the monetary number still the same? Because I know it's bigger in the amount of money. Does that mean that it was bigger, like in the value of it back in the 90s compared to now? I would assume like $100 in the 90s compared to $100 is like what, 20 to 1 or so $20 for every $100?
So that's a good question. Based on inflation, 5% over 20 years, your money would double. Okay. So if you went back 20 years to that fight, roughly, then each one of those guys should be getting at least $50 million. To give you an example, Holyfield got $35 million for that fight, and Tyson got the other fight. That this is bigger is the historic Ali Foreman fight, the Rumble in 1974, in which Ali won by a knockout.
Right, I remember that.
Similar to this is what's interesting. Speaking of that, like Foreman, Mayweather is going to bring brute force. Watch for that. However, like Ali, Pacquiao is going to bring blinding speed. The betting is very interesting. If you bet $20 on Mayweather to win, you're going to get 20 fractional odds, 7 to 20. And if you bet $20 on Pacquiao to win, you're going to get $65 based on fractional odds, 9 to 4. Yes. You're going to make 3 times as much money betting on Pacquiao. My money is on Pacquiao. Here's something interesting. The highest single bet placed in Las Vegas right now on Pacquiao, $500,000.
Really? So
yes,
what would that bring him back?
$1 million.
What would that bring him back, though, if he wins?
$1.5 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in a minute after I pick my mouth up off the floor. Simpson Salsa, guys. We'll be back in a second. We'll talk about another fight happening, but it's on the East Coast, guys. I'm talking about, where's that place? Over in Maine? Or was it? Baltimore.
Baltimore.
That's right. We'll be back in a minute. Hold on.
And family, guys, I know, Big 60. Here in the Molcajete with Ben, G, Dion. Secret Sonia, everybody. We have two very, very special guests. I'll tell you that for our Vietnam dinner. We're actually going to do a couple of segments because they have such interesting lives. Okay, so
Nice.
I
Okay.
know we have the fight of the century, this century, I guess, right? Whatever. But
Every century in the
Yeah.
history of centuries.
but it wasn't that long ago. I guess it was now. We had Vietnam. Okay, so we have
Totally different fight.
totally different fight. Yeah.
Okay.
We have two veterans. First one I'm going to introduce is Wade Moore, and Wade was a medic to the Navy SEALs. Say howdy, Wade.
Howdy.
And then the other
Howdy,
one we
Wade.
have
Just
is
kidding.
the other we have is Larry Espinosa, and Larry Espinosa was a Marine, also during Vietnam, and he has a very interesting. You told me you're a gunnery,
Correct.
right? I think I messed up on your title. Wade. What's your title?
Master Chief.
And they happen to both be here celebrating birthday. Wade's married to my cousin Marie, and Larry Espinosa is here with his beautiful wife Rebecca, who's taking some pictures. We don't ever want people to forget the Vietnam era. Ben, you're our baby, so you really don't know that much about Vietnam.
Really, no. I was born, I think, the year that they bugged out. What was it? 74, right?
75.
Was it 75? Okay, so I was 1 year old when it came out. Yeah. So
And I'm just going to go right in because I know a little bit more about these guys than you, but you guys jump in if you want to. But speaking of, Nixon was the one who pulled us out of the war, basically. And I know that Larry, you have some experience with President Nixon, right?
Yes, I did.
Tell the audience a little bit what you did. Now, I know you
come
might
a
not be
little
able
bit
to tell us
closer there,
everything.
Larry, so that way we can talk.
Well, I
right.
was in whenever he went to the West Coast, he would land at El Toro, and from El Toro we would escort him to his ranch house, and
And did you like him? I mean, what was your impression of that?
he was, to me, he was a decent guy.
Was you not a
No,
crook?
no, he wasn't. He did thing the same as everybody else.
Every other president.
But he got caught.
I guess that's the whole deal. It's like, he's over here going, I'm not a crook, because we're all crooks.
Oh, we all have a girlfriend, Hillary.
But
So much more. And she's not going down at all. Wait, tell us a little bit about what you did. You were a medic to the Navy SEALs. You were in the Navy.
I was in the Navy. I joined in 1960, and I 1992.
oh wow,
But
So you really made a career out of it.
I did, and except for weeks, I really enjoyed most of it. And
except for
yeah, total minutes, seconds. Enjoying the Navy to be a warrior. I didn't join to be the next Audie Murphy. I joined to be.
who's already Murphy?
I joined the Navy because I wanted to get away from a bad relationship with my stepfather. And I did, and I just raised my hand. Time they asked for volunteers, and I raised my hand. Next thing I knew, I was in corpsman school in Balboa Hospital in San Diego.
I want to ask you because you had experience with the Navy SEALs. There's a recent story about those two Navy SEALs and the accident. How it happened. What is do you have a take on that?
I
You
have
all
a
know
take.
the story about
No,
that?
I'm lost.
There were two Navy SEALs, and evidently during training, the story is they found
Bottom of the
the
pool.
bottom of a pool, which that
They
doesn't
found Navy
happen.
SEALs at the bottom of
They
a
were
pool.
in training. They were in training. Do you have
Huh.
a take on that?
I don't know what they were doing in a pool. They should have been in the ocean, or they should have been shooting at somebody. But my take on that is that something
That sounds fishy.
they either partied too hard before they went down, and they had that both out, which is unusual for two people to go down. Yeah, at the
Exactly.
same time. But I think something happened that was not quite kosher, but I'm not familiar totally with the situation. So I would say though, in all of my pool training, with the SEALs, with the UDT, with and the rescue swimmer people,
Yeah, I use.
they're you don't drown in a pool.
In driving over here, I guess you drive over here. We were talking about military and different issues coming up. Larry, would you encourage someone today, a young person, with George, your son is in the military right now, would you encourage a young person to be a part of the military? What would you tell them?
Well, I think what it is it's something that you want to do, and if they want to do it, sure, I would encourage. I would go wholeheartedly after them, and tell them what to expect, and the things that I went through, which are a lot different with the things that they go through now, because boot camps back when I went was
So you're saying they're not as tough?
no, I'm not saying they're not as tough. I'm just saying it.
Wow.
But you wouldn't discourage someone.
No.
Even with.
Oh no.
So would you if you would want them to want to do it is what you're saying?
Right.
If you're going to do it, you would want to do it. So what about a draft? If it's one of those where we're just kind of scooping people up.
Well, see, I got drafted, so.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I got drafted, and I had a choice which service I wanted to go into.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go into the best one, which is in the Marine Corps, right?
Simplify.
It's part of the Navy.
Oh, see, here's the new fight.
Apparently.
And you thought Pacquiao Mayweather was a fight.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, so you guys have to say it.
Oh yeah, they haven't said that.
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Pacquiao.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could go vote for Pacquiao too, but I don't know. I got a feeling he's just gonna get. Feels really bad because I know he's a good Christian guy and I want him to win, but yeah, I don't know. It's not gonna happen.
Now, Vietnam. I mean, I was a little girl when all this was happening, and everything, and you knew some of the bad stuff when you came back. Right? Unfortunately, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the coming through the airport, there flew into Travis Air Force Base. From Travis Air Force Base, we went to San Francisco International, I guess they call it. Had a special passage that we had to go through because of the protesting and protesters and stuff. But still, they had access to us, and I remember looking up. There's all these protesters, and we got spit on, and we got called baby killers. And that's something that's really ingrained in my memory. So.
Have any of that?
Yes. And same thing. San Diego was full of people that didn't like us. They didn't like the war, and they took it out on us. And they called us baby killers, and they.
Did you want to slap him in the mouth?
I did a couple.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I would assume so. I would have. I mean,
Shore Patrol escorted me back to North Island and eventually down to whatever that place is where all the frogs hang out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So it Coronado.
Coronado Island.
And previous base there, but we got in times, and my boss decided that he was a young lieutenant, was 03 in the Navy, and he said that if any SEAL or any UDT or any OD or any rescue swimmer loses a fight in San Diego, they're going to the brig.
Loses a fight?
Yeah. So we didn't.
It's good to know that you had his back.
Job, huh?
Oh yeah. He had our back.
Hey, can we keep these guys on for a few more minutes next segment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, definitely. All right, guys, we're going to Wade Moore for our veterans spot today. Retired Vietnam veteran. And we'll be back in just a few right here on Chips and Salsa. Hold on. We don't have to hit the pause button. You have to go like that.
for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
And we have two of the smartest dudes here that are going to say a lot of stuff about Vietnam and their military service and things. But before we get back into our segment, George is going to help me do a commercial about
Vet Ads. Vet Ads is our sponsor with for the Chips and Salsa show. They make anything having to do with our
banners.
our banners,
All of our printing.
Mm-hmm. And
they can do any kind of printing, right, George?
Yep, and they hire only veterans, and veterans have started businesses because of that. That's why we really as our sponsor. And
in the Veterans Magazine, George.
Yeah, actually in this issue.
Yeah, we're in the Veterans Magazine this issue. It's going to be distributed countywide, statewide, actually.
Right, so almost a quarter million issues out right now. Go pick it up anywhere. All these different places you can pick it up. Go get it and check it out. It's like 34, right?
Yeah, we're kind of in the back, but it's got our ad. It's got a little bio and us.
And our other sponsor is JC from One Truth. And
JC
Gonzalez.
JC Gonzalez, right?
Not related to Martin.
But he could be.
To George.
Awesome, and you know what? If you have not heard his music yet, do me a favor. Go to Chips and Salsa. In our advertisers sponsors, you can see his little emblem. Click on it. Man, his new video is really clean. I really like it. I think it's really awesome. So you guys definitely check it out. But thank you guys so much. All of our sponsors, we love each and every one of you and us as this show. So that's pretty
extremely well produced. And I just want to mention, because we do need more. We're hitting for 1,000, right? We want to do that. I think some people might get confused because it's Chips, just the letter N, Salsa Show. So don't and salsa, just Chips Salsa Show. So tell your friends about us as we get there. So I want to get back to, we have Larry Espinosa, who's a Marine during Vietnam, and Wade Moore, who was a medic. We didn't get to get Wade to weigh in about encouraging or discouraging in the military today. Do you have an opinion about that, sir?
Absolutely. I agree entirely with my shipmate here. And if a person, boy or girl or woman, wants to go into the military, certainly
You're straight.
do it.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I have, I'm going to do a little commercial on my family here. My son-in-law, my oldest son-in-law, is in the Air Force. My oldest grandson is in the Air Force. My next oldest grandson lives in Albuquerque, and he is attending the Baton Academy. His goal is to become a Marine. And
Hoorah!
hoorah! But he I just got a text that he placed in the shooting competition. He's going to be a junior next year, and he's gung ho to be a Marine. His mother's not too hot about it, but I encourage anyone who wants to be in the military, please explore it. Learn about it before you sign the papers, but explore the opportunity, because you're going to see. I've been to 105 countries.
Wow.
And 50,
I didn't say there were 105 countries. How many countries are there?
I think only 30 or 40.
Yeah, 5.
Some are still here.
Really?
So, yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. But all 50 states, and I've, as in my capacities as Fleet Master Chief and Command Master of different ships.
It's a good choice for you.
Absolutely.
Now,
for me, it was great.
What do you all think? There are a lot of veteran issues. I don't know if you've had to take advantage of some of the services, but do you have any solutions or recommendations? Is it more political? Larry.
Well, to me, I think it's political, because, like for me being a disabled vet, and getting the health care from the Veterans Administration, I know that it, there's quite a few, where you have to wait to see a doctor or to get
Appointment.
another appointment to see another doctor. If something else is wrong with you, they send you to somebody else, and it takes a while there, which I really don't see why it does. If they're gonna recommend you to see somebody else, let them, get you in there to see somebody else.
And Wade, have you had some experience with some quick fixes, something simple they could do that they're not doing?
Well, I'm a veterans advocate. I'm on the Southern New Mexico Veterans Advisory Council. And I'll just give you an example. Last week or last month, I was up in northern New Mexico in near Chama. And I met a veteran up there. Never met him before, but he had experienced a coronary occlusion and had to be transported by ambulance, air ambulance and ambulance, down into Albuquerque, and the VA said, we ain't got room, and you're going to have to go out on Veterans Choice, which is the new thing. And then he submitted.
What is Veterans Choice?
That's the veterans now, if they can't get an appointment with the VA, they can choose a doctor in their 50 miles.
Which sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but he chose to go out to Presbyterian Hospital, and then he submitted his claims. And for a heart attack, it's a massive amount of money. More than Pacquiao's going to get probably.
Wow.
But all these claims were denied.
Wow.
And then he got a hold of me, and I got a hold of a friend of mine who is the field veterans officer for Congressman Steve Pierce, who is the second congressional district congressman in New Mexico. And Joe Martinez is his name, and he's you don't mess with him. And I haven't been back home yet to get a resolution, but that's so bad out there that the VA used to change your appointment and not tell you, and then when you show up, you will get treatment. And,
wow.
It's
so sad. I mean, I would assume, especially for these people who really, how do they say, all gave some gave all. You would think these are the people who, there would be no to come on in, let's get you fixed, let's move forward. I would assume that would be the case, especially for something so. These guys who are so, I mean, you would assume, especially taking of things that we do, it's just like, wow, it shocks me that,
And I don't mean to hog say that you don't have any questions, but I have a question about today's veteran or today's military person. They have some different challenges, but this still bothers me, the 22 suicides a day that they keep saying about that. I mean, why is that this way now and not before? What is your theory on that?
Well, we can't say it wasn't. We can't say it because
was it just not?
They
known?
didn't keep
not
the
documented?
statistics right. Now they're keeping more with the things that are going on and why. But you really have to think about it. The Vietnam veteran is the forgotten veteran.
Right.
You can ask about the World War II one, and then go to the Gulf War, and that's the way they mention Vietnam, and it's well,
we didn't get a mention.
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't get a mention last week.
Tell us what happened last week.
Last week was the 40th anniversary of Vietnam. I was on a helo that trailed the.
What's a helo?
Helicopter.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That trailed the ambassador when he was told by our admiral, Admiral George P. Steele.
Right.
He sent a LaSalle in to get the ambassador out of the embassy in Vietnam, Saigon, and he said, "Mr. Ambassador, I send respects from the president." We were all standing there, and he said, "Pack your bags. You're going with us after the Blue Ridge," and he did. And
what is the Blue Ridge?
It was an amphibious command ship. The admiral had transferred his flag from the 7th Fleet flagship. I was on 7th Fleet staff then. Oklahoma City, which
Wow.
I know we're out of time now, but
Yeah.
thank you so much, Wade Moore and Larry Espinosa, for coming in all the way from New Mexico. All the way from
Definitely.
Alamogordo, respectively.
Just for the Chips and Salsa show. Thank you guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Guys, what's that? Say
for
again.
Alice's birthday.
Is that what it is?
Alice's
Oh,
birthday.
okay.
She's 29 today.
There you
Happy
go.
birthday!
21. I don't know. Anyways,
Forever 21.
And as a parting shot here, I'd like to give Alice a.
oh, wow.
This is from
Show
the
everyone on YouTube.
Vietnam War Memorial in Las Cruces.
Wow.
Very cool.
Which is very cool.
Very cool. Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much for your service. I mean, other people might have forgotten, we haven't. We appreciate you definitely big time. Thank
Come
you
back
so
and
much.
see us.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys, we're going to come back and our Weight Watch, our final segment, and then tell you about things coming. And also a new show that is going to be debuting tonight, right here, right after us. You're going to have to hear about it. Chips and Sauce will be back in just a minute. Hold on.
Takes their eyes off the road while cruising along.
Feels pretty good, huh?
Hunk of steel. Well, why not just ask them this?
He's running for the House.
House of Representatives.
House,
House of Representative,
exactly.
District 27.
District 27.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited to hear the show. I'm gonna be listening in and whatnot. I don't know if you heard our news earlier. Did you hear about it, sir?
No, I didn't.
Oh, just been picked up by another network as well, affiliate as well over in Chicago, who's listening as well. And so we just picked up Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit. What were the other ones, guys? Detroit, Atlanta, Dallas. So I'm very excited. Look at it. They're already calling you to say, hey, we're about ready to get started.
There's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz about revenue.
Look at it. They're already calling them. Here, we'll keep talking. You go right ahead and say hi.
Yes,
What
sir.
about our Facebook question? Have we got any?
You know, I haven't even looked.
Dion. What do
I'm
we know,
assuming
Dion?
Mayweather and
Come on up to the
Pacquiao.
second floor.
I haven't seen anything come through.
Okay, not yet. So
Second floor.
we're all good, definitely. Okay, so let's do this. While he's doing that, I got to tell you guys a quick story. Okay, so remember I told you all last week that I didn't have a gym, so I haven't been able to weigh myself. All right, so I just need to first start out by saying the new gym I have, I hate them. They're the most. Ugh. Okay, and the reason why, now I'll put them out on blast. I will do it in New York second. Okay, they. I don't know if you guys have heard of Planet Fitness.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's the new gym in town. It's the new flavor of the week, right? And so my wife has been pushing me because she didn't want to go to the one to do Planet Fitness. It has this cool like spa thing. I don't know if you guys have checked it out or not, but they have tables in there, tanning machines. They have a red light machine. I don't know if you guys know what that is, where you put your hands up. It's what all the big sports figures use and everything. Okay, now the thing that gets me and the reason why I hate them is because, and it's not even a dislike. It's like one of those where they're on my hate list. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of them, but they're there, right? So they send me this right, and one of my wife's girlfriends goes to Planet Fitness. Always talks about getting tan right now. Let me call you back. Oh, this stuff, right? Advertisement, and it says $1 startup fee. Thinking, oh, okay, this will be great, right? And then it says $10 a month. And I'm thinking, nice, all right? And then you turn it around and it says all the amenities of $10. Oh, it's right? So it shows all these different things. So my wife's like, you got to do it now. Look at it. It's going to happen. I'm going, okay, fine, no problems. It's all good, right? I look at it. And I go to the place. Next thing you know, they're asking me for checking accounts. They're asking me for these things. I'm going, guys, I'll pay the bill. Here's my card. And they're like, no. It's got to go onto a checking. It literally took us 48 hours to get signed up after all this stuff was going on. Mind you, to the point where I'm talking to my wife. My wife is like, why are you making this so hard? I'm going, I'm not. Why is this such a big deal? So for that Planet Hollywood, I hate you, but we're there anyways. So I worked out the other day, and here's the crazy part. I went in, I worked out. After I worked out, they don't have a single scale anywhere. I can't see. Yeah, so I have not been able to find out if I've passed 320 or not. So I went there. Where's the scale? And they're like, oh, it's a judgment-free zone. I'm like, I need a scale, guys. What's going on? I need a scale. So because of that, ready to I'm just like, you guys got to be kidding. So I don't know where I'm at, guys. I feel like I'm losing weight or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I literally don't know where I'm at. I'm lost, guys. Where are you guys at? Do you guys know where you're at?
I'm at 170. I actually lost 2 pounds.
170. Nicely done, Martin.
It wasn't because of anything that I did. I lost because there was less intake, and the reason there was less intake is because I had an infection in my gum. The dentist, and they had to remove some of the roots that I had. You know how a tooth is really in 2 parts: the part above the gum line and the part below the gum line. Right. And I had the parts above the gum line removed, but the parts below the roots is what got affected. Wow. So I actually did it for a couple of days because I had gone.
Is that a good diet to use, or?
Yes, I encourage it. I recommend it highly.
Okay.
Yeah. Get an infection so you can't eat. So
therefore you lose weight.
That's right.
Wow. Nice.
Get an infection. Go to the dentist.
George, where'd you go to? 175 still.
175,
Nice.
I'm just staying at the same weight, dude.
Wow. Well, guys, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm hoping here soon that we're going to be able to, what's that?
2-minute spots.
I have 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Oh, gotcha. Definitely. Well, we're letting they're letting us know that we're about ready to bounce out of here. So either way, guys, man, I don't know. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week.
Fun week, busy week.
Very busy week. Alrighty. So don't go anywhere. Revving up with the Rev. Is that right there?
Yes, revving up with the Revs.
Reverend Jackson. It's going to be coming in.
Reverend Jackson.
Definitely. Do you have a guest today? Or
Reverend Clyde Bowen, my co-host.
Nice.
And he's here.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited to hear.
We're gonna do what we came here to do.
Definitely.
Does he want to?
We're gonna make some folk glad, and we're gonna make some folk.
And either way, they're gonna have a good time. So it's gonna be all good.
All right.
All right. Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Dallas, Las Vegas. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be catching you next week. It's right here on Chips and Salsa. We're out of here. All right. Bye.